Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic solo lesson for the months of January through March/April 2019. By request, I'm going to show you the solo from Pee Wee Crayton's Do Unto Others. I actually had a request for the entire song, but the main guitar parts in the tune are in the introduction and the solo. And what he plays in the introduction and what he plays in the first and most of the second verse of the solo are pretty much the same thing. There are a few little variations in there. So I'm going to show you the introduction, and then we'll go to the solos, and I'll show you what he does differently there. It's in the key of B flat, and this is a really cool tune. Let me play the introduction for you one time through, and then we'll break it down. That's pretty close. I hope I got the timing right. Let's talk about what he's doing. The first lick is pretty simple. He's just doing this double stop. Everything we're playing is over the first position B flat bar chord. And I've got my first finger, and I'm on the 6th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings. And he's just sliding into that. Then he slides in again. And then he's going to play it something very close to that. So the first part is just really almost a rock and roll style double stop lick on the 1st and the 2nd strings. Then he's going to go to this lick. And this is one of my favorites of all time. And what I'm doing here is I've got my first finger on the 2nd string, 6th fret. I've got my 2nd and 3rd fingers on the 7th and 8th frets of the 3rd string. I'm keeping my 2nd finger planted. I'm bending up on the 3rd string, and I'm using the downstroke with my right hand with the pick, and I'm getting both strings at the same time. So we've got this. And then the last time he does it, he lets it come down. He releases it slowly. So he does this. And then he's going to go just back and forth between the 6th and the 8th fret of the 3rd string to the 8th fret of the 4th string. And then he's going to do something like this. And when I first heard it in the introduction, I thought he'd do this typical electric blues thing. He does that later in the song. But the very first time in the introduction, I hear him go to there. So he's going from the 6th to the 7th on the 3rd string, 6th fret of the 2nd string, 8th fret of the 2nd string, and then he just continues. He slides it up. Something like that. So the first part of the solo, or the first part of the introduction, which later becomes the first verse of the solo, let me try to play it slowly. And then he's going to play around on the 3rd and 4th strings. And what I'm doing here is starting on the 8th fret of the 4th string to the 6th fret of the 3rd string, 8th, and then sliding to the 10th. He does that twice. And then just comes back down to there. Check the tab for this part. And then he's going to go once. Again. Just a little figure there, mostly in the first position blues box. Check the tab for this. And then he's going to wrap it up with one of those. So this time he does go to the first string, 6th fret, and slide it, at least as far as I can hear. So let's take it from the bending part. I'll play it slowly. I always say that, and I always get going tempo. Try to get my timing going slower. Pretty darn close, but that's really what he plays for the introduction of the song. Listen to the original, the Pee Wee Crayton version of Do Unto Others, and you'll see what I'm talking about, and use my tab, and you'll figure this out. The key lick in this is really this double bend. That's the defining lick of that introduction, and really the whole song. Now when he gets to the solo, he's going to do almost the exact same thing, and there's just a few little variations. Everything up to and including the bending part are really the same. So he's going to get to the solo and this time he's going to go to the first string and slide it, and then he does something a little different. So in there, if you check the tab, I've got it tabbed out exactly, but he does a little different sequence of notes in that when he's doing the sliding on the 3rd string. Just slightly different, but it's a variation, and that's what he's doing. Now when he kicks off the 2nd verse of the solo, he starts with this lick. And then into that part, and then he just plays all the stuff that he's already played. So this, the way I'm doing it, you could do it with your pinky, but I'm putting my 1st finger at the 6th fret of the 1st string, and then I'm taking my ring finger to the 9th fret of the 2nd string. And we've got this double stop, and all I'm going to do is take my ring finger and then move it to the 8th fret, to the 7th fret, and then get my double stop back in the B flat 1st position bar chord. So we've got this. I'll try to play it slowly. And he goes back into pretty much the same stuff he played in the introduction and the 1st verse of the solo. So if you're listening to Pee Wee Crayton's Do Unto Others, and I had a request to teach this, that's why we're featuring this. And I got the solos in there, and really the introduction and the 1st verse of the solo are almost the same, not quite, little variations in the solo verse. And then the 2nd verse, he's going to start it off with that descending double stop. If you've ever played this turnaround, it's just the same fingering, and he's just picking it where he's picking it as a double stop. And then after that, he plays a lot of the same stuff, and you can check the tab, and I have the whole 1st solo tabbed out completely, along with that riff at the beginning of the 2nd solo, and you can listen to the rest and figure it out. Hope you like this lesson. Hope it helps you. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. And if not, I will be back again in a couple months or so with another look at a solo from a classic electric blues tune. See you then.